Welcome, Nerissa. We really appreciate your leadership and taking the time to be with us today.
Good afternoon, Blessed. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. As always, we want to begin by acknowledging the original stewards of the various lands that we are on, as well as our ancestors and those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We like to acknowledge our elders and community stewards whose shoulders that we continue to stand on as we build and share and learn for our collective liberation and sovereignty. So how about we start with you introducing yourself to our viewers and listeners?
Certainly. My name is Nerissa Allen. I'm the president and CEO of the Black Business Association of BC, and we support and help Black entrepreneurs across Canada.
That's great. So can you tell me the origin of the Black Business Association of BC and how are you disrupting multiple ecosystems in Canada?
Yeah, we started in 2020 and actually we kind of started in 2019 when I was looking for Black businesses to support and I couldn't find vendors. So as I found them, I created an Instagram page called Black Business Vancouver, and I started to post and highlight businesses that I personally found that I was using. And then in 2020, when COVID happened and Clavia and our business had to close because we had a storefront, and like everyone else's business during COVID, you had to close your doors. So we had, to pivot really quickly and figure out a game plan. And while looking for, support within the community, we realized that there was no business support organization in BC at all. And at that time as well, George Floyd had been murdered, and I had so much pent up anger and energy from that, from watching that and seeing that. I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to direct it in a positive way. How do I do that? And I figured, the best way to do that was to try to support our community economically, get us to a place where if we are economically strong, these types of things aren't going to happen to us. And when they do, we will be able to respond appropriately. So that's kind of the two of those things amalgamating at the same time is what spurred on the actual registration and starting of the Black Business Association of BC.
Wow, it's great that you were able to take such a traumatic situation that triggered a lot of change across the globe for sure. It's crazy to think that, in 2020, you didn't have such a space and association in BC. So kudos to you for taking up the mantle on that one. Can you share with us what your mission and vision is for the Association of British Columbia?
Well, the mission is to galvanize the community, to get us to a space where we have our own operating functions, that we are not just advocating for change, but we are the change. So you'll notice when you look at our programming, the way we've structured everything, it's about what can we do to make our businesses sustainable? What can we do to operationally make sure they're making more money? So all of our programs are geared towards that. It's about how do we get them multiple revenue streams, and how do we train them and give them the tools to do it? How do we give them the platforms to do it? How do we give them the means in which to generate multiple income? So we do it through our procurement program, where we train and help them find government tenders. We help them to connect with other businesses so they can do B2B transactions. We have a store that we opened here in Vancouver where it's set up like a co-op store. We showcase and sell products of our members, and these aren't members just in BC. We have Black owners that ship their product to us from across the country, and we sell it right here in the store. So they not only have a new avenue for making money, but they also have a new avenue to create brand awareness, because we don't sell their entire line, but at least we expose a new market here in Vancouver to their business. And people will often leave, because we have it's in a tourist area. People will often leave our store, even if they've bought one thing from us from that vendor, they'll find them online and go and do more purchases. And now they have a customer for life. So how do we generate income? You know what I mean? The same thing where we've moved into looking at offshore investments. How do we support export development and getting our businesses to start to ship their products out and expand their market access? investments in Ghana. We've now started to tour Ghana, and we're bringing people back to Ghana to show them what investments they can make in real estate, what investments they can make in manufacturing. There's just so much out there that we can do to equip our businesses with the tools that they need to grow and expand.
Wow, that's exciting work. And I mean, it sounds like entrepreneurship is at the core of what you guys do. So we really appreciate the work. We're big on pushing entrepreneurship around here. Can you share with us the vision for the Afro World Expo?
That's the vision of that is so exciting to me and to our team. It is, well, first of all, Afro World Expo, we had the inaugural year this year. We brought together aspects of training and development for businesses. So we had a main stage with workshops and panel discussions and information sessions to teach and provide entrepreneurs with learning and education. But we also set up a marketplace where vendors could set up and display and sell their product to the public. So we've created a dual event where not only can a business learn, but they can also sell. Once again, if we are doing something in the Black Business Association of BC, there has to be an aspect of income generation or a way to do it quickly. And that's why we introduced the marketplace into that expo, because we're giving vendors an opportunity to sell their product, create brand awareness, and grow their business. And that was a really great experience. We had 55 vendors. We had over 700 attendees come out and attend that expo. And the vision for that is to grow it into the biggest celebration and expo of businesses across Canada.
Wow, that's remarkable. So dare I ask, what inspires you most about your current work at the BBABC?
I think seeing the change. I think we're on the precipice of a revolution of innovation. We're on that place where we're about to jump off. We are a group of people with brilliant ideas, brilliant product, amazing services, and we just need the opportunity and the platform to show it and get it out there. And because our work is so rooted in that operational aspect of showing their work and getting their businesses out there so they can create more income, that's what excites me every day. I just feel so blessed to be able to provide that platform for so many businesses who are in need of it.
Absolutely, as you should. So what challenges or barriers do you face in your work, and how are you and your team working to overcome them?
Funding is always a barrier. Funding as a nonprofit organization, funding as a small business, these are always barriers that we'll face. And I think right now we are funded primarily by the government. And because that is project-based, we are left with figuring out, how do we create a sustainability plan for our organization? Just like a business, you have to, the way I look at a nonprofit organization is you have to have hybrid strategies in there so that you can be sustainable as a nonprofit organization. You can't rely on only grants and only donations to be able to see longevity in your nonprofit organization. And that's what we're working on right now. We're working on our sustainability pieces. How do we implement revenue generation, those same revenue generation strategies that we are providing to our members? Those are the same revenue generations streams that we are implementing and embedding in the foundation of how we run our organization. And hopefully we will see the fruits of that labor in the next few years as we've set it in place. We have Black Biz Global, which is an online marketplace. It is a directory for national businesses. Actually, it's going to be global because we're already starting to put on Ghana businesses we found in Ghana, in Barbados, in the UK onto that platform. So not only is it a directory, but it's also, we like to call it Blamazon. It's an engine for e-commerce for businesses to sell their product, right? So we also have the store where we can sell our own UEL. It's called UEL, Unity Excellence Legacy. It's a that store also sells our own merchandise. So we found ways to implement those same business revenue generating strategies into our nonprofit model. And that's kind of how we are dealing with moving forward and the challenge of capital.
Right. I love Blamazon. That's really on point. It sounds similar to We Buy Black out of the
Yeah, we
US.
work actually closely with
They
We
have
Buy
like
Black here.
a similar model and refer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds similar. That's great. Do you have a key set of priorities that you're working on right now, and what are they?
Our priorities are, well, our main events that we know are going to be the core of the organization. Afro World Expo. One, because it's impactful. It's impactful for our businesses, and it's impactful for us as an organization. So that is a key priority for us. Our Business Excellence Awards, which are coming up on September 9th. That's where we showcase. It's the only awards, the first and only awards gala or event that recognizes Black-owned businesses here in BC. And then we also have our youth entrepreneurship program. So there's a couple of different priorities we have, but I guess it's one, looking at sustainability pieces for us and our members. Two, it's a recognition and making sure that our members and our community are seen. Three, it's making sure we implement these strategies so that we're sustainable as an entire community, because we have to move as one, we have to work as one. And that's why we work with other organizations as well, because we can't do it all. But if we know who's doing what, we can leverage them. And if there's a business owner comes to us and they're like, you know, we want help in this area, but we don't provide it, we at least know an organization that can, and we'll do the referral. So I think the importance of network, not only within the business organization, but within the nonprofit ecosystem, is extremely crucial. And I think that that's where our priorities lie right now. And then, oh, I almost forgot. And also connecting our businesses our businesses as diaspora to the continent of Africa. All of those countries that are doing so fantastic right now in terms of they're welcoming. Ghana is welcoming to the diaspora. Rwanda is excellent in business. South Africa, Kenya, all of these countries, we've started with Ghana, but we're going to spread across Africa, and we're going to bring the diaspora from a business perspective to the continent of Africa, because that is a key part of how we grow as Black people across the earth.
I think that's great, and it's so timely. As you mentioned, they're welcoming diasporians back, and even like lowering the barriers to entry, so you don't have to have a visa. They're really saying, come on home. So I'm glad that you're leading and facilitating that work. Thank you for that. How do you feel about the future of entrepreneurship in Canada?
It's so bright and it's so inspiring to see the businesses that have been in the trenches for so many years. They've come out, the ones that were in existence before COVID, and they've come out stronger. The ones that opened up during COVID and they've managed to sustain, and the ones that are opening right now. Like there's so much innovation to see. And what I love most about it is to watch how our business and our culture fuse. So many of our businesses are rooted in our culture. So when we are showing and displaying our business, we're actually showing and displaying our culture, whether it's music or food or artistry. All of these things are a part of our culture. So I think entrepreneurship is bright for two reasons. One, because our innovation is being allowed to show now. We have platforms to showcase our excellence. But two, because we inherently are promoting inclusion based on our businesses being also a show of our culture, and people are gravitating towards it. People outside of our communities are gravitating towards our businesses because we are a display of our culture, and everyone wants to be a part of beautiful cultures and know about other cultures. That's just a human thing to want to explore and to learn and to access that. And that's why travel is so important, because people want that. So when we're providing that, through our business, wherever we are in Canada. That's also a part of it.
Absolutely. So what is the ultimate goal of the BBABC, and what does success look like for you and your team?
The ultimate goal would be, I think it would be not needing to be at a place years ahead where we don't need a Black business association, because everyone is equal and we don't have the barriers and the challenges that we have right now as a community. How long it'll take to get there, I don't know, but we'll be there until the end. And then I think the ultimate goal would then to be to turn it into an organization that's just there and rooted in operational strength to build up businesses that need it. But I think in the long road ahead, the future goal would be, to bring Black people to a place where we don't need this kind of space because the equality is there. And yeah, I think that's where we are right now.
That's a good place to be. I think we should all definitely want something like that. That's a good one. There's no need to have the niche opportunity, because it's an equal opportunity for everyone.
Yeah.
I want to share more on your tours and taking trips to the continent of Africa. Can you share more on that?
Oh, absolutely. So we have, in October last year, we went to Ghana, and we did some preliminary exploration of the opportunities. We met with great businesses and realtors and lawyers and people that know the landscape of Ghana and the investment opportunities for the diasporan. We created a content video on that, and we started to share it, and it gained a lot of traction. People really love that work. And what we are comfortable with now, what we're doing is creating tours to bring diaspora back, because what media was showing us about what Africa is not what we saw when we got there. And we wanted to show what it really is. There's opportunity, there is investment, there is beautiful living, there's culture, there's so much to for us as diaspora that we not only that we should, but that we need to go and see, and we need to be a part of. And that's what these tours are about. So we have one in December coming up. That's fully booked, because the minute we put out the content video showing, how beautiful Ghana is and how much opportunity there is, and there's condos, there's land, you can build houses, you can buy into other businesses, you can, partner with businesses over there, there's manufacturing, there's everything you could want. So when we started to show that, and then we put out the tour for December, like that, it was gone. So now we're registering for our tour in April. So if anyone's interested in coming with us to Ghana for a culture and investment tour, which is a little bit different from the tours you would normally see, because you normally see culture tours, but we want to make sure we stay true to our entrepreneurship mandate, which is how do we generate income and revenue and build business for our businesses here, but also impart that cultural tourism into it. So yeah, we're so excited. I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about is connecting us as diaspora to our motherland.
Absolutely. So congratulations. The December tour is sold out. That's amazing. And now you have an April date. How long is the tour when they go?
It's 9 days, and we take you on land tours. We take you on property tours. We do the slave dungeons and in Cape Coast. There's a beach day. We do markets. We do, what else is on that tour? We're looking at possibly including the Volta region, but for the April tour, we're actually going to be doing Kumasi and weaving centers, and connecting you with places where you can link to manufacturers if you need products, or to do that, to build that supply chain piece. So that business to business interaction, that's what the April tour is about. So if anyone's interested in that, We have just opened that registration. It's on our website at blackbusinessbc.ca. Go and check it out and register, because just as fast as the December tour sold out, the April tour is also going to sell out. And we don't have any future dates yet, so hop on the April tour.
That's great. Well, that was my next question, is where can they find it? So I'm glad you dropped that. We'll definitely include the link below as well. That's great. I'm so glad that, you know, the first one sold out and you're planning a next one right after. I hope people take advantage of it, because it's definitely great to be able to, you like you said, network with the continent and really build and explore the culture. So do you have any closing thoughts or calls to action for our community, aside from sign up for the tour?
Okay, calls to action. 1, Afro World Expo, registration is open. Reserve a booth early. Last year, because it was the first year, registration was slow, but we did end up selling out the entire expo. And now we already have people, before we even open registration this year, who are saying, how do we get a booth? How do we get a booth? Well, I'm saying right now, booths are open. You can reserve your booth right now. So you can head over to blackbusinessbc.ca to do that as well. Or you can, and if you want to see what the event looked like last year, you can go to afroworldexpo.ca. So that was our inaugural event. Signing up, you can sign up for register for a 2024 booth, which is going to be June 1st and 2nd of 2024. The next thing is September 9th is our Business Excellence Awards here in Vancouver. Come out, join us for an evening of great performance, of music, of food, of great company, and, you know, recognition and celebration of amazing Black businesses here in BC. And Ghana. Come with us to Ghana. We want to bring you to Ghana. So yeah, we're super excited about the work we do, because it's different, and it's so rewarding, and we meet so many great businesses. We plug so many great businesses to each other. We build with the government to help procure. Oh, I almost forgot procurement. We have a procurement workshop starting on September 13th. It's 5 sessions, September 13th, 2 sessions in October, and a session in November. And it's literally a workshop one-on-one, well, not one-on-one, it's a group session, but it's hands-on in how to read, dissect, understand a procurement tender, the application about how to go through it. You're going to go through a literal one, a goods tender, as well as a services tender. And then the last session will be flipping it on you, and then you become the rater after you've actually run through the process of completing a tender, a sample application. So sign up for that. You can sign up for that on our website as well, blackbusinessbc.ca. It's a 5-week workshop on giving you the tools to properly understand and apply for a government tender, federal government tender.
Well, that's amazing. So yeah, everyone needs to head over to your website, subscribe to your newsletter, subscribe to your channel, whatever you have going on. We want to stay tapped into that. So thank you for sharing. So it's a 5-week series that you're doing on procurement starting in September?
Yes, starting in September.
Okay,
so you'll
great.
see that under our events tab on our website.
That's perfect. That's amazing. You shared so many great gems. We really applaud the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you for taking the time to be with us here today. We really appreciate your remarkable leadership, Nerissa.
Thank you so much, Blessed. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm so passionate about what we do, because I feel like it's impactful, and we see the returns coming back as a people. And it's just wonderful to be here. And thank you as well for the work that you do. Thank you for the work that Setsi does. You know, it's just it's amazing to see the blossoming of all of our organizations and how we work together to make this happen.
No, it really is. It really is. It's such a special time right now, and want to amplify the voices of the people that are really leading this work, the impact that we're having. So again, I want to thank you, and we want to just close the way we began. by acknowledging the original stewards of the various lands that we're on, as well as our ancestors and those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We want to acknowledge our elders and community stewards whose shoulders that we continue to stand on as we build, share, and learn for our collective liberation. So thank you for being here once again, Nerissa, and thank you to our viewers and listeners for tuning in today.
Bye. Thank you.